To construct the Buccal Canine Retractor, first I need to draw the design on the cast. First, to draw the long axis of upper canine, then at the middle of the height of the crown, the C-shaped end of the active arm will extend. Then there is a right angle bend to direct the active arm toward the vestibule. It should pass parallel to the long axis of canine. Then there is a coil 3 to 5 mm in diameter, just distal to the long axis of canine and 2 mm away from the sulcus. Then the supporting arm, which has a slight curvature, then it will extend upward into the buccal embrasure between two premolars to form the occlusal part. Then it will end in the palate as a retentive arm or tag with a small hook for retention in acrylic. Take a straight piece of 0.7 pound stainless steel wire. First, I will start to make the C-shaped end of the active arm, which should be well adapted to the labial surface of canine. So this is the C-shaped end. Now I will mark the position for the right angle bend. This is a right angle bend. To direct the wire downward parallel to the long axis of canine. Now I should mark the position of the coil just 2 mm away from the tips of the sulcus. The coil is 3 to 5 mm and should be bent above the active arm. At this point, make slight curve with my fingers in the supporting or distal arm. So it needs more. Now passes exactly between the two premolars, but it needs adaptation toward the tissue as well. So I can make small round bends along this part of the wire to help for the better adaptation of this part. Just slight round bends. Now it exactly passes between the two premolar. I can now mark the beginning of the occlusal part, and just before the mark I will make bend toward the occlusal. To be parallel between the two premolars. Also, I will cut the excess wire. Now the occlusal part is exactly fit between the two premolars. Now I will mark the point where the retentive tag will be directed toward the palate. Slight bend, then check it on the cast. Now there is interference from this end. I will end it with a hook, either L-shape bend toward the palate or a hook. The end of the active arm has a C-shape end, which is well adapted to the middle of the height of the canine. Then there is the active arm parallel to the long axis of canine, coil 3 to 5 millimeter away from the sulcus, at least 2 millimeters. Then supporting arm, which has a slight curvature to ensure a horizontally directed force during retraction of canine. Then the occlusal part, which is well adapted between the two premolars. And finally, the retentive arm, which is 1 millimeter away from the palatal surface of the cast to ensure adequate room for the acrylic to pass beneath the retentive tag. The 3 points of contact of the spring with the cast are only at these points, which are the point of force application, the occlusal part, and at the end of the retentive tag if you used L-shaped bend instead of the hook. All other parts should be away from the buccal or palatal surfaces of the cast.